Internet has been crazy the last couple of days about this Vanessa Bryant story. I know y'all have heard it at this point. There was a rumor going on for the last 3 or 4 days that Vanessa Bryant, the widow of Kobe Bryant, was pregnant. Then there was another rumor that she was not only pregnant, but potentially pregnant by a young baller, basketball player.
A young baller.
That was the quote that was in the news. It said a young baller. I'm assuming they meant basketball player.
In life, she's supposed to move on. She can live her life and stuff like that. I mean, it's been 5 years and all that, and that's her choice. If that was true, but nigga, when it comes to morals and principles in our minds, nigga, and whatever mental world that I'm in, nigga, I'm not. That's Kobe, nigga.
But what's the moral?
I don't want to see you move on.
I
don't want to see her move on. I don't want to see Laura London move on. I don't want to see y'all move on. Do that shit privately.
So there's
Kobe wife pregnant, and y'all females out here defending her, talking about, oh, she's allowed to move on. Actually, no the fuck she not. And when you got kids by a motherfucker like Kobe Bryant, you ain't never supposed to disgrace his legacy. See, this be y'all problem. Y'all think she on the same scale as y'all when she not. You gotta understand, you got pregnant by a regular person in the hood who got smoked by trying to rob the wrong person. Not her. She got pregnant by the Black Mamba. She's supposed to die a legend, just like him. If it was up to me, she wouldn't have access to no more funds or my estate. Tell your new dude to pay for your lifestyle.
So here's the thing. Most people thought they knew exactly how this kind of story was supposed to go. Widow of a beloved sports icon, still guarding his legacy, living quietly, staying out of scandal, all while the public collectively nods and says, yes, that's how it should be. But what happens when reality decides to take a sharp left turn and crash headfirst into those expectations? That's when the internet goes from simmer to full-blown rolling boil, and suddenly everybody has an opinion they didn't even know they were carrying around.
Yeah, but I don't agree with that. I think that, that's not what...
No, I know you're not saying that, but I'm just saying the idea that she did something wrong and she's violating some code. I wanted to kind of know first
when Kobe died again?
2020, like January 26th.
Hey, dog. Yeah, dog.
There's a lot of people that have problems with widows moving on for some reason.
And this week, the pot didn't just boil over. It turned into a kitchen fire. At first, it was just whispers. A few online posts, vague language, nothing concrete. Vanessa Bryant is pregnant. Not confirmed, not even attached to a name, just the seed of a rumor. The kind of thing most people would scroll past without thinking twice. But then, just a few hours later, that rumor got an upgrade that felt like pure clickbait on steroids. Pregnant by a young baller. That exact phrase, young baller, spread like a grease fire across social feeds. Everyone instantly assumed basketball player, because what else could it mean in this context? And just like that, the story found its hook. Still, it might have stayed in the shallow waters of gossip if not for the nuclear level.
Then there was another rumor that she was not only pregnant, but potentially pregnant by a young baller, basketball player.
A young baller.
That was the quote that was in the news. It said a young baller. I'm assuming they meant
claim that followed. LeBron James himself had supposedly revealed the name of this young baller. Now that is where the internet collectively stopped, blinked twice, and said, wait, what? Because LeBron James, of all people, has spent years building a reputation on careful diplomacy. He's been the face of the NBA, and more importantly for the story, he's maintained nothing but respect toward the Bryant family since Kobe's passing. So, if he really had broken that silence, if he had crossed that line, it wasn't just gossip anymore. It was a seismic moment in the fragile ecosystem of Lakers royalty, and then came the name being tossed around like a live grenade, Jaylen Brown. Which, if you're keeping track, isn't just some NBA player. He's a star for the Boston Celtics, the Lakers' historic rivals. That detail turned a personal rumor into a sports political earthquake. It wasn't just Vanessa is dating again. It became, Vanessa might be dating a Celtic, which for some diehard Lakers fans is basically like finding out your sibling is marrying into a family you've been feuding with for decades. The public's reaction was instant and ugly. There were men online acting like this was a personal betrayal to them, like they had some kind of stake in Vanessa's romantic life. Others took a step back and asked why anyone even cared, but by then the train had left the station. Content creators were cranking out breaking news, videos at light speed, all of them milking the LeBron connection for views. And every time someone repeated that claim, it got just a little more real to the people hearing it. Whether it was true or not, here's why it hit differently. LeBron and Kobe weren't just professional acquaintances. Their relationship had layers. They were competitors, yes, but also Olympic teammates, occasional rivals, and by the time LeBron joined the Lakers, there was a kind of unspoken passing of the torch. Kobe was the legend, LeBron the active face of the franchise, and in between them was this quiet, mutual respect that extended to their families. So the suggestion that LeBron would leak something so personal about Vanessa was like throwing a lit match into a room full of gas fumes. It didn't matter if it was true. The potential implications alone were enough to keep people glued to every update, and just when the speculation hit its peak, Vanessa finally responded. Except she didn't do it in the way everyone expected. No somber press conference, no carefully worded statement vetted by a legal team. She went on Instagram stories. And not with a typed-out explanation, with memes. The first one was Rihanna flipping off the camera, captioned, "Me protecting my peace, not pregnant, and having fun all summer." In one image, she managed to deny the pregnancy, dismiss the rumors, and project complete confidence. The tone wasn't defensive, it was defiant. Then came the follow-up. "I'm not mean. I'm just not the one." Which wasn't just shade. It was a reminder that setting boundaries doesn't make you a villain. And then a third. "The only way to impress me is by being a good person. I don't care what you have, what you wear, where you live, or what you drive." For anyone reading between the lines, that was a direct torpedo to the idea that status or celebrity mattered in her personal decisions. What she didn't do was just as important. She didn't address the LeBron claim at all. And that silence spoke louder than 1,000 denials. It left the people pushing the rumor with nothing to respond to, because she hadn't even acknowledged their premise. Suddenly, the conversation shifted from "is it true?" to "wow, she handled that like a boss." Social media went into analysis mode. Twitter had its usual split between defenders and trolls. Reddit threads praised her for using humor and refusing to play by the gossip industry's rules. PR pros quietly admitted that her method was genius. By using something as casual and temporary as Instagram stories, she was signaling that the whole thing wasn't worth anything more permanent. And posting them while at Disneyland with her daughters? That was a surgical strike. It said, "My real life is here, not in your rumors." What most people didn't see was that this wasn't just a reaction. This was part of a bigger, ongoing game. The timing of the rumors coincided with sensitive business negotiations for the Bryant estate, including projects that would keep Kobe's legacy independent from the Lakers' corporate interests. Dropping a distraction like this, and attaching LeBron's name, was more than random chaos. It was pressure. And if it was meant to rattle her, it failed spectacularly. Behind the scenes, Vanessa's team isn't just PR reps. She has strategists, analysts, and even people with backgrounds in information warfare helping her navigate situations like this. The meme response wasn't an emotional impulse. It was calculated to flip the script and drain the story of oxygen without giving it more legitimacy. It also reinforced her independence, showing she didn't need the Lakers or any current players to validate her standing in the basketball world. Ironically, instead of causing tension with LeBron, the whole saga seems to have strengthened mutual respect. People close to the Lakers say his camp admired how she handled it. And her daughters? They got a front row seat to watching their mother dismantle a smear campaign without losing her composure. That's not just a win in PR terms. That's a generational lesson in power and self-control. And here's the thing, the rumors will fade. They always do. But the way she handled them is going to stick. She turned a week of internet chaos into a case study in how to protect your peace while holding your ground. She didn't just defend herself. She rewrote the terms of engagement. And somewhere, you can bet there are people in boardrooms taking notes, because this wasn't just about clearing her name. It was about showing that in a world built to pressure you into reacting, the most powerful move is to decide exactly how and when you respond. So if you've been watching this unfold, maybe the takeaway isn't about whether Vanessa Bryant is dating a young baller. Maybe it's about how quickly we believe something just because it's repeated, and how rare it is to see someone shut it down without sacrificing their dignity. And if you've got people in your life who'd rather talk about you than to you, well, maybe it's time to take a page from Vanessa's book. Protect your peace, ignore the noise, and make sure that when you finally do respond, it's on your terms and in your voice. Because at the end of the day, that's how you win a game you never agreed to play.